Hello everyone, I'm Xiao Gang. Okay, we've completed phase A in the previous two lessons, and now we're entering phase B. What are we going to do in phase B? Actually, we're going to build our client. Note that we are no longer in the Unreal Engine now, we are on the client side. And this is the code we need to write. You can see the structure is roughly the same. We don't need to write this exec option anymore. This exec option is the interface for us to get the time, as it was explained in the previous chapter, and this develop 3.0 is mainly very convenient for us to record our server IP and port, and the number of encryption times, etc. because we reuse it later. And this aspect we configure in the project. Note that when writing it this way, you need to pay attention to confidentiality, because we explained the configuration to him earlier. Write it like that. If you don't encrypt it, problems will occur. This is our client's log. Then we use this subsystem to send and receive our information. Then these are our three types. Should look very familiar. We haven't used it yet, because this will only be used in phase C, because we must complete both phase A and phase B first. Only then will we do this kind of iterative work like C, D, E. That is, you need to get the framework running first, then add this kind of interface stage. Okay, and this YouTube is the same. This YouTube, exactly the same. Okay, then this BP library is mainly for us to reference. Then next we will guide you to create such a plugin. Okay, so the process of creating a plugin is also very simple. We also have many plugins here, right? We have compilation errors here. As for compilation errors, actually, you can see this is because we have a background process that hasn't been terminated. Let's check our background processes. As for this background process, let me take a look. Not suitable for this place. I'll turn this off and process it again. Then everyone, please wait a moment. Okay, I've started it up. Now let's pay attention. Our current engine version, say 0.4.4, because Unreal Engine has just been upgraded these past 2 days. We don't need to worry about that. Then here we will create our plugin, and this plugin needs a library. Let's call it IOGangSam, SampleClient, the client plot car, and the author is YaoGang. The rest doesn't really matter. Okay, we just need to create it here. Then in this lesson, we will mainly focus on these files. We will handle the folder of these files. It's build.cs, it's upreg. We will process these things. This will make it more convenient for us to use. This part still needs to wait a moment. Okay, it should be created now. We just need to wait a bit longer for it to refresh. Okay, it has refreshed now, and we must ensure that the compilation is normal now, because sometimes you might not be sure. You might just throw together a bunch of code and then find that the compilation fails. This is the most awkward thing. We can delete the function here. We'll keep this function checked. This can be deleted. So this is a clean plugin. Then we'll modify the contents of the plugin. First, for the plugin version, let's set it to 1.1.0 as well, because we want the client and server versions to be consistent. Then change this category to this small dash. Let's check if the category here has been changed. This category hasn't been changed yet. Change it. Then go back here. We don't need to include this blueprint here. Let's write the blueprint into the project. Actually, it can be written inside the plugin. We write it inside the project. And these are all set to false. And we don't need to specify the engine version. And if we want it to compile, actually, for your client side, because this client side is actually, you don't need to specify v64, because this pipe is a cross-platform pipe. So here, you could actually write and it would be fine. AIM-derived. I'm not very good at writing Android either, so I'll leave it. So you can skip writing this line. It's fine if you don't write it. No problem. The loading timing is currently. This hasn't involved the loading timing issue yet, so it can stay as default. Okay, then we'll handle it this way. Then we modify the builders. The CS, obviously, we need to delete these two modules. We don't need to write Slate, so delete it, because we have included this. So we can let it hook into the engine here. There's no problem with that. In the future, actually, we need to here add JSON, YouTube. With this project, these 3 modules are enough. Then add this core module here, because we are going to put the HTTP header files into our own header files. So here, put HTVC and develop 30 into the public folder. As for our private ones, we use them internally and will not expose them externally. So put them into the polite folder here. Okay, there's this path here, right? Let's set the path. First, this type. I have explained this type to you before. So we will have a type path later. We want others to be able to directly include the file. When others include it, we put this type. This polite is for our own inclusion aspect. We just copy it over. Okay, this name really needs to be changed. This first one is no longer needed. The first one is for access time. We wrote it into another plugin. Essentially extracted it. Okay, so now you compile. Don't compile now, because none of these things are ready yet. Then next, let's create. Obviously, we will have a path for public. We have a config. And then our log. Then the type here. Type YouTube. Okay, so these 4 folders. Then in our project, it's actually also these few folders, but we don't need type. Because type, we just need it to have the same files. We don't want to use so many folders and make it too complicated. Then what we need to do is open the Unreal Engine we just had. We mainly do this to save trouble and avoid rewriting it. We find our engine. Remember where our Unreal Engine is located. Add this path, C, source program, find this program. Here, then we call this name. Obviously, we need to call these 3 types. It should be these 3 types. Serotype is not needed. Here it is. Put it here. They are all empty because I haven't written it yet. That's better. Then these 2 YouTube ones, just put them directly here. Put this YouTube here. Put this YouTube into private, because our plugin needs to be separated. Okay, good. So we have copied the files we need from the server side of that program. Of course, they are empty now. No problem. Then next, we will create a few more files. First, this is log, right? Log SampleClient, call it this name. Oh, chai. Yeah. It's inside private, so we should use CPP. Yeah. Let's press again and find this private folder. Find our log. Change it to H. Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's look at this config. We'll only write 1 header file for config 2 to reduce everyone's workload. Yeah, let me rename this. We'll call this SampleClient. Okay, after this is done, let's refresh our project. Okay, then let's locate it. Okay, we need to check now. Let's check one by one. This stage is prone to errors. Luckily, we haven't written anything yet. That's better. Good, we haven't written anything here either. It doesn't even have C++. That's fine too. We haven't written this part yet. And this part is this. Then we'll write its source file as well. Be careful to get the name right when pasting just now, because I pasted many times and made this mistake many times. So I know what's going on whenever I make a mistake. Okay, no problem here. Diop 20, we haven't written this part yet. We'll write it later. Okay, basically this way there shouldn't be any issues. Let's check it. Let's compile it now. Obviously, the compilation was successful here as well. There are no issues either. Good. So, we'll end this lesson here. This is equivalent to the B1 stage. In the next lesson, we'll guide everyone to write this code in